everybody, I hope that you are cozy and comfy and ready for a new video. Today I just want to talk about all of the books that I read in the month of December of 2023. This is the last wrap-up reading log of the year, so let's just jump into it. Y'all like my cute little mug? We're matching. Let's get started with what I read. I have one regular book that I forgot to mention last month / the very beginning of this month, so I'll put that at the very end if you're not interested in that. But if you are, you can go to the end and watch my thoughts on that. But first I'm going to talk about the manga that I read. This is not a huge stack. Honestly, my manga reading was pretty slow this month because I've been working on other content that I wanted to film, along with I've been playing a few video games, cleaning my house since I have a couple weeks off for Christmas, mostly off. I've been going in every once in a while doing little things here and there. I've had a lot of time, so I wanted to use that wisely. I've been doing some housework that I've been putting off, along with other little things here and there that I've been working on. But I did want to talk to you about this little stack. I did make a video, and I'll put it in the description, about books I wanted to finish before 2023, and this is part of that. So I read volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Kaiju number 8. I originally had read this about a year ago, and then I'd never read 2 and 3, so I was doing a reread of the first one and then wanted to start actually reading this series because I've got like up to 7 on my shelves here. This is my TBR shelf behind me. If you didn't know, little known fact, the only reason I film in here is if my husband's home and I want to film a video, and the library is in the room right next to where he plays video games, so he's playing games because today his day off, so that's why I'm not in there filming. That's when I'm in here, you can usually tell when my husband's home. Anyways, back to this. I'm a little distracted today. These were great. I absolutely stand by what I said when I originally read this. I like it a lot. I'm going to be picking up these continuously. They're the original Viz price of $9.99 when these originally were coming out, so hopefully I can snag them up for that price or less, but we will see. I know that the price hike has recently happened, so I don't know yet, you know, but we pick them up at Walmart because they tend to run about $7 there or $6 depending on the day, and I'm just going to continue getting them there if they have the newest version because I like to save money on my manga, and for some reason I've picked up every volume of this from Walmart, so why not just continue that. It's a story about a guy who, I think he's in his 30s, early 30s or something, and he gets like infected by a kaiju because he works for a kaiju cleanup service. After a other company kills the kaiju, he is part of the company that helps clean it up because, you know, there's body parts everywhere. He gets infected by one, and so he becomes a kaiju, and it's really, really fun. There is an anime that's been announced, and it comes out on this date, or as close as I can find. I'll put it here on the screen, and I definitely plan on watching it. I'm not in love with the way they made the main character look in the anime, but I'm still gonna check it out. I'm very interested. It gives me like Bleach vibes mixed with Jujutsu Kaisen, mixed with Parasite, mixed with Black Torch, just that kind of shonen, and I loved all of those, so I'm interested to keep going in this series. The next thing I read that was on that list is Bleach 3-in-1s. This is volumes 25 to 26 and 27, as you can see here on the spine. This is by Tite Kubo. Love Bleach. This is a series that my husband really got me into, and I am slowly making my way through the manga, not really prioritizing it necessarily as much as trying to get this edition if I can find them. I do have a lot of the singles, but I try to pick this one up just because I like it. It's more compact, it's a little cheaper, and I just like the quality of it. I'm at the part where they're meeting the Visors and the Aran cars and everything. So it's in a weird transitional spot of the story, but Bleach, if you don't know, which most people do, is a story about a guy named Ichigo Kurosaki who becomes a soul reaper through circumstances, and he has to fight like spirit creatures called hollows, and it's just like a really intense battle shonen where this guy has to defend his hometown and his friends and his family, and he learns a lot about his past. And the anime's great if you skip the bout arc. And I really wish they would one day do like a condensed version of the show based off of the actual content in the manga, because I am liking the manga a little bit more than the anime as of right now. Tite Kubo is an amazing artist. If I can find one of the pages where he does a lot of fashion shots, it's almost like he has a fascination with Japanese fashion or just clothing in general on his characters. And the dude can draw really sexy men, like that's just a fact, but I'm not finding anything here. This one's them in swimsuits on the beach. It has nothing to do with the chapter that you're currently reading, but I don't know, I just really appreciate Tite Kubo's attention to detail on his characters and their clothing, and he just seems really interested in music and fashion, so that's one of the reasons why I really like this series, and I will be continuing it, but I did knock that one off of my list. Next I have volume 7 of A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow. This is only 9 volumes if I'm correct, and I just ordered the last 2, so I will be finishing this very soon, and that will be in a haul. I don't want to spoil too much of that haul for you, but I ordered quite a bit of used manga. Oh, that's such good coffee. So I'm excited to finally finish this soon. This volume was very emotional for the rest of the series. I feel like we've been pretty soft and nice up until the last volume or two. It's been very drama filled in the sense of these two girls are having a lot of miscommunication with each other, and I think that it's just speaking to how we as young teens don't know how to express our emotions. And so I'm really enjoying this like slice of life coming of age story for these two ladies and their friendship and this beautiful little aquarium club that they're members of. I've been really enjoying this read. It's a very soft, easy read, and I'm excited to finally eventually finish it. So that was a really fun one. And the last manga that I read for the month is volume 1 of Shinobi Life by Shoko Konami. This is the first volume of a series. I mentioned in my last video that I had gotten some recommendations from a video by another YouTuber, so go check out that video if you're interested. This is a story about a shinobi named Kagetora who lives in like a different era of Japan, and he has a princess that he has to protect. That's like his life's mission, is to live and die for this woman. And he falls through a time portal and falls into the real, I guess like 90s where this girl is. Her name is Benny, and he confuses her for the girl he was defending in the other world because they have the same name. And technically she's related to that person, but I don't want to give you too much information. But from the first volume, that's what I gathered. I think it's going to be a love story between the two of them, and accepting the fact that one of them is going to have to live in a different world. I don't know if they're going to end up moving in the same world together or what this time traveling situation is, or if we're ever going to have answers to that part of it. But it's like slightly sci-fi, but mostly like a romance, action, mystery kind of series. It's really cute. It's just rated T for teen, so I think it's good for most ages. But the girl in here, Benny, the new Benny, she talks about dying a lot. So I don't know if she's got like some kind of self-harm issue, or if they just think it's quirky and like, I want to be dead. You know, I can't tell. We'll see how the next volume goes. I do have the second one here in my shelves that I'm going to read eventually, but so far I'm in it. I think this is going to be a series that I'm going to continue reading because I love a good Japanese history romance ninja story. I don't know what it is about that I really like, but I do, so I will be continuing this one. Hopefully I can find all the volumes because it's 13 volumes and it's an older Tokyo Pop, so cross your fingers for me. Alright, so that was all the manga I read for this month. If you are leaving the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to see the book that I read, just stay tuned. I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a book that I heard a girl talk about on YouTube years ago. When I used to be way more into booktube, that was kind of where I was for a long time. But I didn't know much about my tastes at the time. And I wish I could remember her name. I went and unsubscribed from a ton of people. I only kept 1 or 2. And I feel really bad because I got this recommendation from her years ago and it just stayed in my mind. And then I went to the bookstore I have locally and bought it. And it was pretty cheap for a paperback. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a book and go into it not knowing much about it, other than the fact that she said it was like her favorite series. If you know who I'm talking about, please tell me because I want to find her channel again. I miss her content and I'm trying to find her videos that I remember watching, but I've had no luck. So I might have to go through my liked videos if I can still do that and see. I'm sure I liked her videos. I tend to like a lot of videos, but I'll have to go digging to see. And if I find it, I will let you guys know. And she loved this series. Like, this is a 3-book series from R.F. Kuang, and it's about the Poppy War. There's this girl who, her name is Rin, in her teens, and she's about to be married off to some older man by her family who do not care about her. She was like an orphan that they just kind of took in. They're gonna like pretty much sell her off to this guy because like it's hard to feed a lot of people in the place that she lives. And they're not very rich or anything, and so she's like, I don't want to marry some creeper and just be a baby factory. I want to make something of myself, possibly be a warrior. So she goes to a war school and has to work her way up the ladder socially and physically to become who she is. I love this book in the same way that I love Oku, The Inner Chambers, which is a manga series that's historical. The language in here is not necessarily the same as Oku. If you've read that one, I know that a lot of people may be pushed off from reading that series because the language is so old-fashioned and you have to really focus, I think, to read something like that. This doesn't have that language, but it definitely is very technical. Like I'm reading a textbook at times because it is a lot of her schooling. Like they go over a lot of her education in this volume. It's so good though. Like I loved every bit of this. I was intrigued from page 1 to the end. And this is a pretty long book. It's over 500 pages. And I don't typically read long books like that, but I just loved it. I was like, I cannot believe that I'm reading a historical fantasy and loving it, because that's not two genres that I've normally been known to read. But I love this, and I've already picked up the second book, Dragon Republic. It's over here, if you can see that little blue book. It's a trilogy, so I only have one more book to pick up, but I will be reading that one hopefully in 2024. That's the goal. I did read a bunch of first books last year, or this past year, that I need to pick up the sequels that I haven't read yet, so I kind of put myself in a situation where I got a lot of reading to do. But that's okay. I love reading, and I just don't want to wait too long in between, but I also like to give a little space in between these books so that I can think about them and decide how I feel. I absolutely loved this book. It goes from her being at home to her having to fight her way to get into school, for her being in school, and then her in a war. And it's ugly, and it's not fun watching your friends be slaughtered and murdered and hurt in front of you. And it's just very visceral and real, and I loved it. It was so good. I felt like I was there with her, and I can't recommend it enough if you think this sounds like something you'd be interested in. I know this is going to get very, very magical in the next volume, book in the series, whatever. So I've got to get in the right mindset for that. I might read like the last 5 chapters just to remind myself what's going on before I pick up the second one. But let me know if you've read this or if you plan on picking it up, because I wish I had friends to talk to about this. It's just so fun. Anyways, guys, that's all I read for this month. I don't think I'm gonna read anything between now and the end. I've only got like one more day this month. I've been reading another book, so I'll probably prioritize that and finish it at the very beginning of January. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you're reading, manga, books, in the comments below. I would love to hear what you're reading. I really enjoy knowing where everyone's at and maybe what your goals are for 2024. I've got a video that I'm working on that will tell you my goals for 2024 as far as reading goes, along with my stats for the year of 2023. I think that's very fun, very interesting to see what I do year to year. And if you want to watch that, remember to subscribe. So thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next year. Bye, guys.